All right, let's talk about some general data display tips. So first one is always label axes. This is a big issue you'll see in a lot of advertisements where they won't label their axes at all. So this came from a survey of students, and they asked them what the highest parental level of education was. Did your parent have an associate's degree, master's, college, some high school? Now, if we don't have a scale here, we don't know, what does this mean that the associate's degree is that high? Does that mean it's a lot more than a bachelor's degree? Is it just a little bit more? Is each of these tick marks 2 people, or is it 50 people? And so when we have these numbers, it's a little bit easier to understand what the differences between bars are. Now, another thing that drives me bonkers with the y-axis label is not starting at 0. So this is a big no-no, and let's talk about why. Look at the master's degree here and compare them to the bachelor's degree. If I wasn't looking at the labels, it would look like the number of people with a bachelor's degree is like 6 times that, the number of people with bachelor's degree. We tend to see area, and so we compare areas, where in reality, master's degree at somewhere around 60, bachelor's degree somewhere around 120, so it is about double, but it's not 6 times as much. This is often done to make differences appear larger. So notice on this graph, the some high school is pretty close to some of the other high ones, but that difference is made to appear larger with the skewed scale. This gets even worse when a axis doesn't start at 0 and they don't label it. What this graph here on the right is basically useless. It tells us nothing because we don't know how skewed this is. But you'll see this displayed a lot when someone's trying to convince you of something. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you is probably the most important piece of data display advice I will give you. Never, ever, ever, ever use a 3D graph, because you can always skew the perspective to make things look wonky. Additionally, they're very hard to read. Now, Excel really wants you to use their 3D graphs because they look cool, but they're very hard to read. So do not fall into Excel's trap. Do not use 3D graphs. All right, I hope these videos were helpful. See you in the homework.